Okay, so I'm trying another program here to record, and I'm hoping it's recording. Okay, so good morning. How are you guys doing? This is Mary Ann from Coastal Love and Decor, and today I'm going to finish these Friendship clamshells. Now, let me go. This is how I order these. This is how they come. I think the color is stunning. And normally, you know, guys, I usually paint the background. The only way I would paint the background, and I think I might have done it on one, is to take Mod Podge with some little bit of sparkle and paint it on the back of the shell and let it dry and continue on my process. But I can't bring myself to paint these. They're just the waves of purple, and it kind of looks blue. I don't want to mess with that. They're just some shells you just don't want to mess with. Okay, so I'm going to climb up here on my chair, put my gloves on, and this is going to be a pretty quick video, but I figured I'd come on and show you this. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to grab my, this is what I use, J. Diction, the UV resin. I'd like to try Let's Resin UV resin as well. I haven't tried it, but the resin I use is J. Diction, and it's just been a dream for me, the regular 1-to-1 resin. All right, so we're going to start on this one first. So this one says side by side or miles apart, true friends are always close at heart. Okay, my first thought was to put this heart on, but I'm not feeling it. It's a mermaid heart, but I'm not feeling it on this. So I'm going to put some pearls on it. But again, these water slides that I printed, I got off of Pixie Decoupage on Etsy. So you can go and get her prints. You can get them printed. You can download them, whatever you want to do. But anyways, so I did this yesterday. Let it dry because you want to make sure there's no water. Now I edge this in silver, and this is what I use. I love the pen so much better. So that's done. So next step, which I know I've done a video on already. Let me just grab a paper towel behind me in case I end up needing it for some reason. Okay, I just want that close by. All right, so you've seen me do this, but this isn't going to take long. So, you know, just follow along. All right, so I'm going to put just a little bit of resin in there. I always cap it because I don't want the light to harden the opening. I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to get that all on there, making sure I even get the gilded part up here. You can resin it first before you gild it, but if I put UV resin over it, it's going to really stay on there. It's definitely not going to come off with the UV resin. So I basically got my first coat on, just like that. I don't do the back of the shell. And this is the back of the shell. I don't do the back of the shell. I'll also show you how I attach my bases on this. All right, so I'm going to, I have my light, and I have a power pack here that runs my light. So I'm going to set this for, I always set it for 180 seconds, and I'm going to just slide that shell under there for the moment. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. This one says friendship isn't about who you've known the longest, it's about who walked in and never left your side. I love this saying. So I put a little dab of E6000 glue on this gold starfish that I'm going to add to this. Let me get this extra UV off of me here. So, and again, we're just going to, oh, and then I did the same thing. I gilded it with gold, and and this is what I used for the gold. Okay, so let's do this one, and I'm going to go around that starfish and hope it doesn't move, because I just glued it a couple minutes before I even got on this video. Okay, so again, I'm just going to run this. See, it's moving. So, but I'm going to get some of the resin on it. And actually, I'm just going to move it to the side, put some resin up in here, and I'm going to stick that back there. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, because I don't have a puddle there. I can put a little puddle there, but I'm going to try it and see if it's going to work to stay where I have it. We're going to see. So this is getting another coat. So I'm trying to coat every little nook and cranny, but I know I'm putting another coat on in case I miss something. And we'll see how that starfish works. All right, I'm going to slide that underneath, and I'm going to wipe off. I'm trying to avoid getting UV resin on other stuff here on my left hand. I know I have it on my right, but all right. So the next step I want to do is, let me take out the first one. Okay. So it's not sticky. When it's not sticky, you know it's done. If it's still sticky, put it under there longer. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, sometimes it don't. I'm going to push it at 100. I just keep pushing the 180 seconds on this. So I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to do another coat on this. I'm trying to think, because I'm going to add some pearls in a minute here. So now we're going to put the second coat on. Start out with a little bit of UV resin. If you need more, you can add more. It's better that way, because if you put too much on, there's a possibility you'll get like a little bubble of UV resin, because it'll gather and form a little bubble, and you don't want that. But putting this UV resin on really brings out the colors on this stuff. Okay. All right. I mean, if you wanted to put 3 coats on this, you could. I just do 2, because in case I miss a spot. All right, we're going to slide this back underneath there. And then I'm going to bring out the other one. And let's see if our shell stayed. And it did. It stayed. It's there. Yep, it stayed. Awesome. So let's put a second coat of this on here. I'm telling you, everything in my craft room is sticky, and it's terrible. It's terrible. You know, you just grab for things and you got resin on your hands and you're like, All right, let's put this last one on. I'm just going to go over the shell this time, or the starfish this time. Now, if it seems like it's going to come off, or if it does come off, I could put a dab of this here, but I just don't want that little, I might even just do a little bit. I just don't want a bubble there. I might just do just a little smidgen. Let me see here, because I don't want that piece to come off, because if somebody uses this as a ring dish, you don't want your pieces coming off. I mean, it's not moving that hardly at all. But the light can't go through the starfish because it's not see-through. All right, and I'm just going to go around my gold. And that looks good. Actually, I'm just going to slip it under. Let me get this going again. It's right here. Alrighty, I'm going to pull this out. And this is all done. Okay, this is the one I'm going to put the little pearls on. So let me wipe off my fingers here. And I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to put the pearls on this, and then I'm going to put the base on this. And then this will have to go underneath here. Okay, so I just need a little bit, and I'm hoping I get this. So I'm just going to spread this right where I want the resin. I'm not squeezing it. I just did a little drop. Okay. All right. Now, making sure I don't have anything. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to drop it on here. Actually, I wanted it there. All right. And then I'm going to take this little teeny tiny one, and this is when I need tweezers, but maybe I'll get it on there. There it is. There's that one. And I'm wiping off my fingers. I used this bowl over here that I made to hold the pearls so I wouldn't lose them, because they are so tiny. And then I'm going to put this one right there. So I have those there, and now I'm going to hit this under the light. And I'm actually going to hold it until it sets a little bit so the pearls don't fall off. Okay. Let me just check it. Yes, they're not moving, so I'm going to let them finish under there, and I'm going to pull out the other one. Let me check the starfish is not moving. I'm not sure what I'm going to do up here yet. I'm not sure if I want to add anything else. This is how I work. But let's put the base on. So these are the bases. I get. And you can use it this way, or you can use it this way. Whatever way you want to do it. And I go by how the shell is going to sit on it. So does the shell sit better like so? Because sometimes you have to work with it to get it where you want it. You know, I might do this one because usually I do them this way. This is the way I normally do them. Let me see. But see, I think it sits much better. Okay, I am going to do it that way. I'm not reversing it. All right, so now what I do next is I got it where I want it. So I'm going to pick it up without moving it, like so. And then next, I'm just going to take my UV resin. You could E6000 this, but I'm thinking in E6000 is great glue. But with the UV, it's not going to go nowhere. So you find a spot and just squirt some in there. And then I'm going to take my heat lamp, and at least for 30 seconds, put that on, you know, put it on there. I should have looked at the time on this. Because you want it to set. And I'm thinking that's been 30 seconds. Okay. Now I'm going to slowly turn it without moving it. And then I'm going to hit this side. And I guess I need to take the lid off. Okay, so I'm going to put some in here. And it's going to run a little bit underneath that stand, underneath the leg. So we're going to, because I'm tilting it so it goes a little bit under the leg. So it's not going to go nowhere. I don't know. I hope you guys are seeing this. All right, I'm going to start this again at 180 seconds. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it again, and I'm going to do the last one, the last leg. I do all 3 legs. Just put a little, it doesn't take a lot. All you're wanting to do is attach this, so it's permanent. And my stand did not move. That's the only thing. Once you have it set, make sure when you pick it up, your stand don't move. Otherwise, if you don't get it right, it's gonna wobble, and you don't want it to wobble. Okay, I'm just getting it, and there you go. It's on there. It's not going nowhere. So there is that one. I'm not sure if I want something else on this or not. Again, I'm going to have to look at it a while, but for now, this looks great. Now let's go back to the other one. Let's do the silver stand. Let me get this out of the way. And you can see the pearls. They're on there good. So now I'm going to take the other stand, and I'm going to find the sweet spot. Let's see. Let me switch this one over just to see. And actually, I flipped it over, and this one is sitting better on the reverse. So I want to make sure it's straight. Again, we're going to grab it. Wait a minute, I moved it. We're going to grab it. Like so. I'm going to take the lid off. And we're just going to, I'm going to go right on top of that little, since this is in reverse. And I'm going to hit that with this. What I was doing is I was kind of putting the E6000 glue on it before I UV resined it, and it was just too hard. I couldn't get it to, it would move when I put the glue on it, and you kind of have to, oh, is that the spot? And so I decided to just try using the UV right out the gate. So we're going to get over here and do this one. Right there. And set that up. It's not hard to do. It's just a lot of, it's time consuming. I think yesterday what I do, 4 pieces, and it probably took me close to 6 hours going through all the steps. It's not like, okay, slap it on, blah, 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 you're done. It just doesn't work that way. And then we're going to come over here. We're going to do this last one here. These do take time and patience. Sometimes I'll put the water slides on. I can't get it to go right. I rip it, then I have to take it off. I have to either reprint it or pick another one. It is a lot of work, but I enjoy it. So, you know, but this is something that I think anybody could do. I mean, you're not working with the 1-to-1 resin. You could do 1-to-1 resin on these. I've just been finding the UV resin for these shells are a lot easier. You don't have to mix up resin. Okay, now we're just going to go like that. And it's done. And it sits nice. You can put your ring in it or just use it as a display stand. You could tilt it like so. If you, I know it's kind of hard for you to see, but you could tilt it if you didn't want to make it look like it's sitting like this. You could use it and put it on a shelf and do that. I think you could do it with this one as well. Yes, you could do it with this one as well. So just a few ideas. So I just don't know what else I want to do with these. I'm thinking this needs something else. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. What would you like to see on them? Yeah. I don't know if maybe rhinestones all the way around. I have to think it out. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a awesome rest of your day. I just thought I'd pop in and share this little video with you, and then you can have a great weekend, and then I'll be doing other videos for next week. So have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye.